Hi, this is Matt's Rundown. If you enjoy movie reviews and trailer reactions, you're in the right place. I want to subscribe and hit the like button down below.
On this Top Tuesday, we're going to be reviewing Boyhood. Boyhood is a 2014 coming-of-age drama film directed by Richard Linklater, starring Ellar Coltrane as Mason Jr., Patricia Arquette as Olivia, Ethan Hawke as Mason Sr., and alcohol. Lots and lots of alcohol.
Yeah. Boyhood is an ambitious film shot over a 12-year period and follows the life of Mason Jr. From early childhood to his arrival at college, we watch as people enter and leave his life and how these events shaped his boyhood.
So looking at the good, the standout thing of this movie is it was made over 12 years. It's ambitious, it's a big project, and it's amazing that they were able to pull it off.
Yeah. What I liked about it is that there were a lot of small cultural relevant instances, like with pop songs or Harry Potter, whatever the case may be. They spliced it in there quite nicely. The only thing is it felt like they kind of forgot about it towards the second half of the movie.
Does a little bit, yeah.
Because those pop references and stuff, I didn't notice that many.
I think it was more important in the first half of the movie, though, because when he was changing from year to year when he was a young child, there wasn't much change. He looked very similar. So it helped orientate us quite a bit. Later on, I mean, you could physically see the difference year to year.
But I feel like they could have added more and had that run throughout the movie.
I think they should have, because it was pretty good. After all, it was a very simple story. I mean, it was a very normal childhood that he goes through. Sure, there are the conflict points throughout it. There's a couple of divorces. Things happen. But it's very real. It's very grounded.
Yeah, everyone goes through some sort of conflict when they're growing up.
The movie also had its moments where it was quite witty and enticed a good laugh from us. And there were some wise moments where Mason Sr. was talking to his kids, or just people were imparting life lessons on Mason, mainly. And yeah, they were well done.
I liked the interactions between Mason Sr. and his kids. I think, like you're saying, those were very wise moments. They were very thoughtful. And it was good interactions, good communication between him and his kids.
Yeah.
That I appreciated that a lot. I think Patricia Arquette's character didn't really get as many opportunities to do that, because it looked like she was just all over the place.
She was all over the place. And I think that takes us nicely into the bad, because for me, I'm not a big fan of Patricia Arquette. I did not enjoy her character. The whole cast was really not bad at all. Ethan Hawke's brilliant. I like Ethan Hawke. Patricia Arquette fell a bit flat for me.
And the last scene we saw with her also just left us with that falling flat feeling, because it was so real but anticlimactic. I don't know.
Yeah, she was questioning the point of everything, because she's gone through marriages, she's gone through raising her kids, and now everybody's left her and she's alone, and what's the point? Next is death.
And thinking about the point, for me this movie was pretty pointless. It was okay. It's not that I didn't enjoy it. It was fine to watch, but I would have also been fine never watching this. Because I think there's a lot of other movies where they've actually done a lot of similar themes, but they've had a nice story within it as well.
Yes.
And I think a lot of comedies do this. I know, for example, like Without a Paddle doesn't do it as long, but there's certain instances where they show aspects of boyhood.
Yeah.
And growing up and how you change and stuff. And I think they did it well and it was entertaining. This, okay, fine, they did the Boyhood well, and then it was like, you know, I've seen it a million times in other movies that were more fun to watch.
I think they were trying to create a reflective piece where you would look at it and go, oh, I reflect back on my life and I reflect back on how I grew up and the interactions I had, where it became more of a relational piece, like, oh yeah, that's, kid's done that, I've done that, cool, and then move on.
I think more for you, maybe there were places where you could relate more, obviously.
Yeah.
But even so, I don't know. I still feel like there's lots of other movies that have done similar things, but
maybe better. And then, again, it's another personal thing for me. I like complete stories. And not that the story isn't complete, but I like things to almost circle back on each other. And this movie had great opportunities to do that, and they didn't. Like, even something simple as the first shot we see of Mason, he's a kid lying on the grass. Final shot we see of Mason 12 years later lying on the grass would have been fantastic. But he was sitting out. And it's not like they didn't have the opportunity, because he was sitting out in nature. So, like, just lie down. And you've got the almost parallel between when he was a kid and now when he's leaving a Boyhood. But that's just me.
It was also a very long movie.
It was incredibly long. And I understand why it needed to be long, but man, it was long. Overall, it's a good coming-of-age movie because you literally are seeing Mason come of age. And not just him, everybody's pretty much growing up on camera. His sister, Samantha, is the director's daughter in the movie.
Oh, okay.
It got to a point where she asked to be written out of the script. She asked, please, will you kill my character? I don't want to do this anymore. Because she's tied into it for 12 years. And he convinced her, please just stick it out, because it's not that type of movie. It's not supposed to be that trauma. And she stuck it out and eventually got back into it. But thinking back on it, there was a period in the middle where she kind of disappears-ish and is in very few scenes. And I imagine that's that period when she was, I don't actually want to do this.
Yeah. And I think that translates that quite well into her character, because at stages she was like, oh, whatever, I don't care.
Yeah.
Which is fine for teenagers anyway, so...
So it works.
So, just in terms of ratings, I gave it a 6.
I gave it a 6 as well.
So that leaves it with a total of 6. It's not that I didn't appreciate what the film was doing. I did. It just left me with, okay, and...
Yeah. It gets a 6 because I appreciate the effort, the ambition, the scope of the movie.
The acting, even.
But from a story perspective, it was fun.
And just in terms of who would like to watch it, I don't really know. I suppose people are interested in looking at that transitional period, especially if you want to find something to relate to.
Yeah. So let us know in the comments down below. What's your favorite coming-of-age movie?
Don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye.
Later.